It is time for a coffee after 50 days of intensity. Between 8 and 12 hours of study every day, and work and research and preparation, all for the end of year exam for the doctorate. And I prepared 111 questions in advance so that I could be able to defend myself in the oral defense. It turns out that no one asked any of the questions. Take it. What actually happened was they asked me one question, and that one question was not in my 111 prepared questions. What is the chance? Well, when you live long enough, you realize that is what's going to happen every time. Every time. So, for the first time after 50 days, I had a sleep and I slept so deep. Oh, it was so good. After so long of preparation and study and speeches and work, everything else, it was so good. The exam was finished and I just felt my nervous system had a break for one night. And I went to sleep. It was great. So today, cheers. And what else can I tell you? Well, we finally get back to our fun research. When I say fun, it's all fun, but this is not actually part of my research. This is just mathematics to stay updated in various fields. Now, would you like me to show you what that is? This is not the PhD work. This is just background maths in a different field. You ready? Here it is. Now, it's actually double because I have it in Italian and then I have it in English, and that way I can practice my Italian whilst catching up on some maths in a different field of study. Risoluzione delle equazioni algebriche di grado basso. Now, I don't know, what's that? Solutions to algebraic equations of low degree, I think. Maybe first degree, so first order solutions. That's probably what it says in Italian. But then I check the English and solving algebraic equations of low degree. There you go. So it's okay. I haven't forgotten Italian because over the last 50 days, of course, I haven't studied any Italian or French. And didn't go to the gym much, just cycled 4 to 5 hours a day whilst studying, and had written out hundreds of pages of mathematics. Captain Deltron! Captain Deltron! Every time we have a live YouTube cast, someone from the old days of Periscope shows up. It's either Terry Nee or many of the others we've mentioned, and now it's Captain Deltron. All those years, look at us, we're back. I was just telling everyone, today is light study. This is light study. I bow back to you, my friend. It is a pleasure. This is our encore 2025. We are living in the future. As we know, those of us who can't change our birth date, and like everyone else, and before they cure aging, the distance between today and our birth date changes how we see the world. Happy birthday, Tony. Congratulations. Hopefully, if we survive and AI doesn't kill everybody, then we will cure aging, and who cares? This is not a bad timeline. You are more than welcome. I have missed your sense of humor, Captain Deltron. Very sharp, very witty, dry, piercing. I miss it very much. So the beautiful thing about reading this maths is that it is not that difficult. It's probably third year undergrad or first year master's level. So relatively not that difficult for people who are doing advanced research. But difficulty is always about that. It's not about whether you're smarter or not. It's not about that at all, to be honest, to a very large degree. It's about each day trying to learn a bit more so that you end up reaching a point where you look back and go, oh, wow, that was difficult and now it's not. And that's sort of the meaning of life. That's why I like that analogy. Because looking at it now, even though it seems relatively simple, it reminds me of new research that I developed last week, which is still under wraps. which ties in some of this maths into something that hasn't been published. So you see things differently, even though they may appear not as difficult as they once were. So you see it in a different light. And that sort of reminds me of everything in life, right? Like when you look at someone having their 21st birthday. And I remember when I was DJing 21st birthdays, I was 22 and 23. And I would notice that about 30% of if it was a female 21st birthday, about 30% roughly would have the birthday girl end up in tears. And I couldn't understand this pattern. And as you know, my brain just looks for patterns. And as you get older, you notice that these things that result in tears aren't necessarily relative to what you've been through a big deal anymore. So you can sort of become dispassionate and say, "Oh, grow up, you're just a kid," that type of thing. So you have to sort of remind yourself, "Well, hold on a second. You went through that too, and life was devastating back then. Not being accepted, not having someone say this, not having someone make a smart ass comment or this or that. It was devastating back then. Without the cushioning of a life experience that makes it relatively ridiculous." So maybe that's why I realized recently, I thought maybe that's why parents can seem unempathetic. You're like, "Why don't you understand my position, mum and dad?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's right. I'm the age that my dad was when he didn't seem to care about that stuff." And I also noticed I don't. What are you going to do? Pleasure to see you. Anyway, all of those thought processes come from the maths. It's where it comes from. So this is the last of the printing, because now I don't use any paper, of course. I remember a couple of years ago I was writing on paper, and this 19-year-old girl's writing next to me in the class, because I was doing an undergrad back then, and she said to me, "Why do you use paper?" Why do you use paper? Like, it was like I was offending her for using paper. And I thought, wow, I've reached that age where I live in the future. So then I said, nah, that's it. No more paper. No more. I will move everything. And now I barely use pen. Even when I write now, I just write in code, the maths. So over 2 years, I've learned how to write in code with a combination of natural language interface. And so now all my writing just looks like that now, pretty much. You don't have any more of this. It's very rare because it's so slow. Once you get used to coding, it's like, how could I even write maths? I'm like, wow, I remember those days. Anyway, so yeah, interesting days. Thank you very much for the like. It's very kind of you. So we will go and cycle, and we will have a look at this. But then in 2 days' time, I have to start writing my next scientific paper. I've got 3 drafts in the pipeline. Makes a mental note. Yes. Oh, mate. It's actually quite. I can't say too much because I'm on the public channel, and I'm not going to talk about what happens at university. That would breach all sorts of privacy and ethics. But there's a lot going on there, and you don't realize that a lot of the... Hello, Josh. You don't realize that so many things that we have today are based upon mathematics people developed a century ago or more. So, for example, even the mathematics that helped design the symmetry of this cup. I know people don't think about it. You just grab the cup. You don't realize that it's perfectly symmetrical. Right? And you're like, a human hand could not have made that. It must have been a machine. But you need mathematics to design the algorithm to design the machine. Now, that mathematics is high school maths today. But that mathematics 100 years ago was not high school maths. So it's filtered down, or trickled down, to use a loaded word. So it's fun in that some of the maths I've recently published in combination with my supervisor, it'll be 100 years from now that people, as maybe in high school, if humans are still around, that'll just be sort of basic maths. I mean, if it's AI, they'll just learn it when they're 1 second old. But But it's fascinating to see that cause and effect over a long period of time. So in some ways, you don't get the gratification of seeing where your maths goes. I just got a question. Make faces in the mirror. I don't know what that means. Answer will appear as chat messages. Start Q&A. All right. We're starting our Q&A. Make faces in the mirror. Answer. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. Here is my answer. Answer. I don't know. Sorry. Yeah, everything's changing. All right. Well, look, pleasure to see you. It's been 10 minutes. I'm going to finish this coffee and get to work. And to see you was a pleasure. And don't forget, as always, to take life one smack at a time.